And we're back for another extraordinary day on this hodgepodge episode. Today, we are going to do a partial fluid exchange in the transmission of this GMC Yukon. For those of you that are not terribly familiar with transmissions, there's a device called a torque converter. It is a fluid coupling between the engine and the transmission. It is a drum, basically, with a turbine and an impeller, and the engine spins the turbine, which also creates turbulence in the fluid coupling, and as a result, the impeller will also spin. What happens as well is you have a clutch inside of that torque converter. The clutch pinches together so that you get a one-to-one transfer between the engine and the transmission. Well, unfortunately, the clutch is it's shuddering. It's basically slipping in small increments, and it makes an unpleasant vibration. It's not good for the internals, and it's ultimately going to destroy this transmission. So, in order to help stop that slip and grip situation, we have this Mobil 1 synthetic LV-ATF HP. It's an ultra-low viscosity transmission fluid that actually the manufacturer recommends to replace your transmission fluid with because it does so much better than the stock stuff. If any of you own a GM with an 8-speed, you'll know that it is quirky. So anyway, we're not going to do a full flush because I don't have the ridiculous amount of money to pay a dealership to flush the transmission cooler, the internals of the transmission, and everything else. So we're going to do a drain and fill, which is a fairly common procedure that I've heard people doing, and it dramatically increases the performance. So, oxygen. First things first, oh boy, did some weed whipping lately. First thing we need to do, we need to get the vehicle up in the air because it's so low that don't have a whole lot of room to work. So let's see what we can do. For instance, quirk number 1, you put it in drive. No, it's not going to do it now, but it will slip for 5 to 10 seconds when you initially put it in gear. Something to do with a drain back that's not supposed to drain back, but they've accepted the fact that it drains back. Gets good fuel economy, really does. I'm pretty surprised with it. How many miles are on this now? 147? Yeah. I'm guessing the fluid inside is black. Think this will work? I'm not so convinced, but we're going to try anyway. 4-wheel low should help us out. Yeah! Alright. I think we're in good shape. Okay, let's get to work. Alright, so this is going to be pretty tough for me to record. There's the engine sump. Here's the transmission. There is a heat shield in the way that needs to go. Boop. Because the heat shield is blocking a fill plug. On top of this transmission, there's a plug where you fill the transmission with fluid because, you know, nobody uses dipsticks anymore in the transmissions, which is kind of annoying. So I need to take off this guy here, and that's it. Yep, there's just one on the side, and then up above where you can't see. Well, you can see. Oh, I just got dripped on. Really pleasant. There's a bolt here, and then there's a bolt right back there at the tip of my finger. You got to undo those. This shield will come down, and then we can access the fill plug. There's some giggly children in the background playing on the trampoline. Makes me chuckle. We're watching some Kids for Friends. Or I should say my wife is right now. Okay. There's one. Ouch. That catalyst is kind of hot. Who knew? There's number 2. Yeah, I have about an inch of wrench travel, so I'll see you in 3 to 5 business days when I get this done. It actually goes through a boss in the transmission into the heat shield. Interesting. Let's take a look at that fill plug now. And there she is. Pull up on the middle and pull the whole plug out. Alrighty. Step 1, we're going to clean around the transmission fill plug. It is rubber, but I'm still using this metal brush because I don't want metal. I don't want dirt to get inside the transmission. They are pretty sensitive. And plug. Plug is out. So that's what our plug looks like. It kind of looks like a body panel fastener, where you engage it and then you push in the top to seal it in there. So that's what that looks like. We're going to set that right on some paper towel next to you. Hercules, watch your head. You just bumped it on the on the running board that refuses to retract because the brackets are all seized. Okay, now I bought a new suck pump. We're going to use that to suck out what's in the transmission pan, because I watched somebody do that on a YouTube video when I was learning how to do this, to make a YouTube video about something that's already been made 100 times. And so we're going to do that before dropping the pan and making a disastrous mess. Alrighty, new pump acquired thanks to O'Reilly Auto Parts. I believe this was about $18. This is one of those you cannot return to the store because you destroy the packaging when you open it. Nice. I owned one of these before. It was a cheaper one. These hoses are nice and pliable, supple, if I may. The ones I had were more like plastic, not acceptable. Where's inlet? Where's outlet? You're not labeled. How annoying is that? To use as an air pump, which would be the outlet, place the air pressure hose into the bottom nozzle. Discharge. Okay, so the bottom is the out, in is the top. Okay, good enough for now. Already smeared the paint. That's good. Okay, I guess we're ready to go. Let's go suck out that nasty ATF. Oh my gosh, that is black. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, that explains a lot. When we bought this thing, I told those meatballs to flush this transmission. Okay, just for comparison, this is the old fluid. Oh my gosh, that's got to be some of the worst fluid I've ever seen. Oh, and it stinks. And this is what the fluid should look like. See a slight difference there? Yep, me too. This definitely was not flushed before we bought it. Okay, now it's time to drop the pan, and hopefully we won't make such a huge mess. Oh wow, they're so loose. I mean, they're supposed to be. It's a very, very light torque spec. Here it comes. Oh wow, there's still a lot of fluid in there. That sucks. Let's see here. Oh no! Oh, thank goodness for the cardboard. Should probably open the drain in the drain pan. Might help the fluid drain down into where it's supposed to go. Really? Well, they said I might need a pry bar to get it out. Prying the muffler, the exhaust out of the way. So I think we're going to do that. There we go. Oh boy. Okay. I found part of a connector in the freaking oil sump, and I don't know what it came off of. Everything looks fine so far. Maybe we'll let this drip for a while. Okay, let's go take a look. Honestly, this looks way better than I expected it to. The other guy I saw on the tube of Ute had a lot of debris in the bottom. This doesn't look half bad. The magnets, I did expect to have a bunch of debris in them because, well, that's how they work. I'm gonna go ahead and drain the rest of this pan off scene here. Yeah, that's some stuff. We have a couple of ultra heavy duty magnets here. Yeah, that's a pretty good amount of metal debris. I have a feeling a lot of that came from the torque converter clutch. Okay, well, let's work on a hyperlapse and get this baby cleaned up. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I should have just left that gasket on there. By the book says you should replace it. So I have a new gasket and I have a new pickup filter as well for the transmission. Okay, new replacement filter. Hang Fusho transmission filter. Probably should have gone with the OEM, but this was, you know, not OEM prices. How do we open this thing? It's mythical, magical. Had a lot of good reviews about the quality of the gasket, which looks good to me. Feels good. Nice rubber. Hopefully it fits. Oh, well, look at that. Wow. What a courtesy gift. Dang, man. How nice is that? New gasket. Hopefully it fits the pan. This side goes down. And the only reason I know that is because when I took the old one off, these ribs right here were in the upward position. Wow, this is actually a really nice gasket. Getting it to stick there might be a challenge. My transmission professor said that when you're assembling a transmission, it's okay to use Vaseline because it's a petroleum-based product. It can be used to help stick check balls in place when you're doing like a valve body or anything of that nature. I might get some Vaseline to help keep this in place for us. Not that Vaseline is really needed in this case because it's not going to be going inside the case. We could use really anything. This is a nice looking filter. Okay, let's go swap out that filter. So I'm wondering, I'm seeing this cover here and I don't see the cover there. And this little guy kind of looks like its next door neighbor. So I wonder if I'm going to play with it for a bit. I'll bring you back. Well, I have no idea. I think I might just leave it off. I can't figure it out right now. My hands are already covered in ATF, so we're just going to go ahead and take this guy off. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Now my hands are more covered in ATF. I'm going to go ahead and roll out from under this vehicle and grab the new filter. New filter acquired. We're going to avoid putting dirt in it. I'm going to go ahead and take a few drops of this old fluid, lubricate the O-ring. Thank you guys. Twist it back into place. There we go. Well, there she goes. That's where it was. We were trying to get the pan off. That's the little connector protector that came off. So we're going to have to be careful when we put it back on. Well, it's getting a little dark out here. So we're going to do the best with what light we have left. Now we need to put this pan on without messing up that connector up above. Yeah, this gasket's going to be a pain in the ass. I need to go stick it to the pan. I'll be back. I'm going to grab a little RTV and just stick the gasket on the pan. And go. Alright, wish me luck. RTV is doing its job. Okay. Okay, that plug, ouch, my crotch. Used my crotch to keep the the pry bar tension on the exhaust here. Okay. I think we're in good shape. Now I can move this. Oh, wow, you fell over. Oh, you missed it. Sorry. I'm going to move my cardboard now that the pan's collecting those driplets. Oh, yeah. Now we're coming together. This is very uncomfortable. We're going to tighten this down, basically like a cylinder head. Start at the middle, make our way to the end. And apparently it's only 96 inch-pounds, which is really not a whole lot. Okay, making progress. I'm going to tighten all these bolts down by hand. I don't have a torque wrench that's appropriate. So we're just going to snug it up. And after that, I'm going to pump about 7 quarts into this using that same transfer pump. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, folks. Holy cow. Oh, good. The window's been open the whole time it's been sprinkling. That's a errand move right there if I've seen one before. Oh, Tightened all the bolts by hand, starting in the middle, working my way forward, middle, working my way back. I don't have a good torque wrench that'll do 96 inch-pounds. I have a torque wrench that goes up to 50 inch-pounds. I've never used it once. I find it completely worthless, and I don't know why it was ever included in the starter mechanics set that I got in college. Anyway, I use the two-finger method as to not over-torque the bolts. Hey, look. Tech tips. Two-finger trick. To help prevent over-tightening a spark plug when a torque wrench is not available, simply use 2 fingers on the ratchet handle. Even the strongest service technician cannot over-tighten a spark plug by using 2 fingers. Alright, good to know. After tightening it down, everything looks good, and I pumped 8 quarts in there, and, well, hopefully Bob's our uncle. StabiliTrak off. Why? How did I break StabiliTrak? Oh, because we're in 4 low. Why is it blinking? Okay, oh my gosh. So many notifications. Window up. Aaron's S25, biatch. I try to have a sense of humor. Quickest way to see your transmission temp on one of these vehicles, switch it to tow haul mode. The battery meter will swap out for your temperature gauge for the transmission. Pretty cool, huh? Let's change to a focus that's not garbage. Why can't I change the focus? Oh, there it is. Boop. There we go. Okay, temp gauge. Battery. Temp gauge. Battery. I thought that was cool the first time I ever used tow haul. Anyway, what we're supposed to do now is cycle through all the gears. I'm going to go out of 4... No, we'll leave it in 4 low. Who cares? Off to the R. Park assist. Yeah, I know. There's tons of sensors just angry on this machine. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch it to Nooch. Count to 10. Switch it to D. Count to 10. M doesn't do anything. Regardless of whether you decide to tell it to go to 8, it's not going to go through the different ranges. It's just going to stay in 1. Go back through it again. Now we're supposed to let this thing run until the trans temp gets up to like 90 some degrees. That's a lot of idle time. At least the engine is warm, because the engine will actually transfer heat to the transmission through the transmission cooler. We can also, let's go to Nooch again. And we're going to go to 4 high. We're going to go back to 2 high. Shift in progress. Squeaks. Strange noises. Traction control on. Okay. We can put this baby in drive and just leave it in drive. This creates fluid shear in the torque converter. Fluid shear happens. I tried to explain a torque converter a little bit earlier in the video, but you've got your engine side, which is, I believe, the turbine, and then you have your transmission side of the torque converter, which I believe is the impeller. The impeller is not moving, and the turbine is moving. That creates fluid shear. Fluid shear is basically when you have fluid kind of like swishing around and doing some wild stuff. And let's turn a light on in here because it's getting creepy. That actually creates heat. Part of the reason why, when you're in tow haul mode, that your torque converter clutch will lock up as soon as possible. That way you don't get fluid shear and you reduce the amount of heat that goes into the system. I'm going to sit on my butt for a while and wait till that gauge comes up, and then we're going to pull a plug on the trans and set the proper fluid level. Super exciting. All right, we are up to... What is it doing? Okay, we have a twitcher. Anyway, we are warm, so now with the engine running, we're going to go set fluid level. Okay, with the engine running, we are going to pull a plug on the transmission, which I believe is up here, something that's probably going to burn me because it's hot. Holy cow. Who tightened that? Are you serious? We just slapped whoever set the fluid level before right in the junk. I got a longer ratchet. Anyway, I'm going to pull this plug, and when it comes to a trickle, that means we're at the right level. Wow. It is definitely high, significantly, but that's okay. that means we have some fluid that's been circulating that's nice and fresh. Holy cow, I put too much in there by a lot. But like I said, that gives more of an opportunity for the fluid to dilute the garbage that's in there, if that makes any sense. The good news though, it's nice and pink. Even though we didn't flush the transmission cooler or the torque converter, that fluid looks way better. And I'm good with that. That's hot. That is hot. Alright, I'm feeling good, guys. Where is my towel? I have lost all my paper towel. Do you know they call ATF mechanics hand lotion because it's so full of conditioners for the clutch packs that it just softens your skin right up? Pretty exciting, huh? I thought so. Can you see me? You can kind of see me. Alright, we're done. I know this video is super exciting, but I got a bunch of stuff to put away. There's water dripping from the AC system all over the place, probably right onto the phone. We'll see you for the next adventure. And we're back for a new and glorious day. Today, on our continued saga of mishmash, pish-posh, whatever you want to say, we are going to get this vehicle because I have not I have not had an official oil pressure reading on this vehicle for probably close to 2 years. It's a small block. They don't require a lot of oil pressure. I mean, in reality. I don't hear valve clatter. The thing would have blown up by now. I know it has oil pressure. So I bought a new oil pressure sensor for it back there. Thankfully, I just drove this not too long ago, so it's Botswana hot. I have a feeling we're going to have to just let it cool for a while. But what I will do is attempt to remove a few of these black lines here. I believe that is our PCV system. Push the tab and pull. There we go. Oh, that one goes way back there. I don't know if I need to get it all out of the way. What is this? Just flopping in the breeze here. I don't know. It does things and stuff. This one I'd like to get moved, but I don't know how that one disconnects. Oh, you gotta twist it? That seems dangerous. But it worked. Okay. Got that out of there. So those lines are relocated. I'm not taking off the fuel line. There's no way. That seems like a terrible idea. Let's go have a look at where that sensor resides. I believe it's right back here. Tucked right down there. That is the oil pressure sensor. How in the heck am I going to get to that? I don't know. I guess we'll find out because there's that plastic baffle back there. I just shoved the socket on there. Really? It's on the back side? I don't know. What I do know is that I'm starting to cook under this hood. So we're going to wait. And this Chinese part, oil pressure switch, S Escalade, 2009 to 2020. Okay. Don't drive an S Escalade, but that's all right. Bought it from the Rainforest site, of course, because, well, it was inexpensive. Comes with a new oil pressure switch or oil pressure sensor. Apparently there's also a filter that goes in there as well where it screws in, so we can replace that. And comes with a socket. One hand magic. Let's do it. Yeah. Came with a socket for the oil pressure sensor. I think this kit was like $17, something like that. Not too bad, especially considering the fact they send you this socket, which is very hefty. Let's go see if I can actually get the camera in to where the sensor is, because I've seen tons of videos out there where people show it to you and then they're like, well, this is how I did it. Let's see if we can actually get a view. Okay, short answer, heck no. I cannot find a good way to get my phone back in there and actually be able to work. So there's a black pincher that's facing us. I'm gonna squeeze that black pincher and I'm gonna pull up on it. And everyone seems to push this plastic that's right, that's right here, that plastic. They seem to all push it backward. I'm gonna see if I can actually get to the sensor from behind that plastic. We'll see what I can do. Aha. Is the camera gonna stay? I guess we'll find out. Oh boy. Pinch the plastic. Come on muscles. Oh heck yeah. Got it, and you saw it, and my hand's burning. Oh, that's hot. Got the connector off, no idea where it landed. Hopefully somewhere close to the sensor. Now, need to figure out how to get that socket on there so that we can use it. Alrighty, that black thingy right down, hold on. Let's get my pointing apparatus. This black thingy right at the tip of the screwdriver, that's the socket. I was able to reach around from behind and put it on there. Now I'm gonna put a swivel. I'm gonna go around the backside again. Oh, it's gone. It's so gone. Goodbye, swivel. Oh, I enjoyed your presence while I had you. Oh, jeez, are you serious? I'm determined not to lose my swivel. Oh, there you are. There you are, right next to the wire for the sensor. Okay, I'm gonna go get a magnet, and you're gonna help me fish this out. All right, well, this junk phone refuses to let me focus on what I need to focus on. So we're gonna stare at that fuzzy blob down there. Am I not touching it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There you are, you little meatball. Come back to daddy. There we go. Ouch, my spine. All right, so we're gonna try this method. Socket, swivel, and extension. I would say it's a 6-inch extension. And we'll see if we can feed all this down there at the same time. Is the camera gonna stay? That's the big question. All right, I got it figured out. Put the socket on with the swivel. Tilt the swivel toward you. Take your extension, go between the fuel line and this ridiculous piece of plastic, engage it, and Bob's your uncle. All right, I'm doing my best to get this in here. Socket engaged. I'm gonna need 2 hands. You get the idea of what I'm doing. You want to go straight up and down as possible on the swivel, because the more you angle it, the less torque you take out of it and the less effective the U-joint becomes. Alrighty, old sensor is out. There she goes. I can hear it rattling around in there. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Here's the inside. Well, we can play with it later. I'm going to put the new one in and see what happens. So it turns out, actually, I'm not a smart man, because the rattling noise is the sealing washer. Neither of them rattle, but I am very curious to see. Well, first of all, are they the same? Because that's bit me in the past. Yeah, they are the same. Thread pitch looks the same. I mean, I really want to take a pick and push on the very end of that and see if the resistance changes, but I feel like that's a big risk of me destroying it. Okay, we're going to skip that. We'll play with this one. No, we won't play with it. Anyway, I'm going to go reinstall it. I'm going to not drag you along because it's going to be the same order of events. I'm going to struggle to get my hand back there in the cockled struggle position to thread this in. Then I got to get the stupid socket on it. Then I got to get the extension. Blah, 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 blah. You've heard this story before. And I'll see you when we start it up and see if it sprays oil everywhere. I almost forgot, as far as that old filter goes, that screen, I'm going to use a pick to pull out the old one if I can fish it back there and without snapping my wrist. And then I will hopefully, in some magical way, cram the new one in there and we should be good. Okay, fine, you can come along. So I tried the 90 degrees no dice, because it's too sharp of an angle. And when I go down in there, I can't go very far, and when I try to go over, I end up just scraping threads. So I took this 45, and I took the tip, and I bent the tip just down a little bit, so it kind of has like a grippy angle to it. I know, technical terms. I'm really good at them, because I want to be able to go down, twist, and then pull. So let's see what we can do. All right, hopefully you can stay there and see where I'm going with my pick, and we can work together. I don't know if this is gonna happen. Don't drop it, you're gonna drop it. My hands are burning. I don't care if Wi-Fi's disconnected, phone. Oh my gosh, I got it. No way. Oh, I could hear the pick scraping on it. Like I was destroying the screen, and I was like, well, this is great. Oh no, it's gone. Of course it's gone. This is so convenient. All right, let's look for this stupid thing. Oh, there it is. I literally need the camera to see. Unbelievable. Got anger veins popping out of my head. The more I struggled with it, the more it ran away. It's somewhere in the valley, underneath the intake runners. Don't even care. It's the old screen. We're going to put the new screen in and forget the old one even existed. And if it melts and the vehicle burns down, then, well, it was meant to be. You ever have to just step away for a minute because you're getting so frustrated? I shouldn't be this frustrated, but it's the sensor literally on the very back of the engine. And it's fighting me more getting it in than it was coming out. The socket didn't want to go on there, and then it finally went on there. It's just a pain. We'll get it.
It really is a magnet. You were right, Dad. This thing is a magnet.
The whole time, I'm pretty sure it was the harness. I just wiggled the connector on top of it, and now it started working. Okay, well, that was great. Well, that's why my instructor always said, don't play the linebacker blitz card. Start throwing parts of the vehicle. Diagnose it first. Well, I have an extra oil pressure sensor for a 5.3 small block. That's cool.